Hello, my name is Sip Mendez and welcome to Sip's Wood Chips. And this is today's project. It is a table saw extension box, and it has plenty of room for things like push blocks and push sticks, extra blades. And if you watch the video, I'll show you how I made this. As always, make sure you read, understand, and follow all the instructions that come with your power tools and equipment. Woodworking is fun, but it's important to work safely. So this is my table saw, and I've had it quite a while. And I've always wondered why it had these extensions out here. They really get in the way. I'm always bumping into them. And what they're for is so that I can rip 25.5-inch pieces on the saw. When I moved the saw from over there to over here, I gathered up all of my push sticks and I put them in this box, and then I got the idea. I says, wow, that's really some lost space. I can reclaim this. Maybe I can make a top across here and make some small shelves underneath where I can store all of my push sticks. I can store them under here, and if I need them I can just grab them. So that's what I'm going to work on. I have this wide piece of wood here, and what I'm going to do is cut it. Find a good piece out here. It's got some big knots. And line it up so that I can put a piece of wood in here like that. Even it up with the top of the table, and that'll give me more tabletop, and it'll give me storage for my push sticks and my little helpers from under there. I'm going to start with a piece 28 inches long. That'll give me a little bit of overhang on this side, and then I'll cut it to the final length a little bit later. I'll mark 28 inches right there. And I've already squared up the other end, so now all I need is just to cut this. So here's the piece I cut, and it's going to fit right here. And I need to mark underneath exactly where I'm going to make my rivets. Now, this board can't really touch my fence. It's got to be able to move side to side, and the same on this end. It has a piece that rides on this rail, so I'll have to cut it back so that it can slide past it. I may have to make a brace that actually is fastened to some holes I'll have to drill here, but this is mostly just a piece of angle aluminum that I can drill through quite easily. Yeah, this side over here is also made of extruded aluminum, and there's a T-slot in here I might be able to make use of, but otherwise this piece of wood is going to have to go up against here and have a rabbet cut to bring it down to the level of my table. It can be of the same level or just slightly lower. This end cap is just plastic, and it's held on by 2 Phillips screws. And I'm going to go ahead and remove that so I can access the T-bolt slots. What I have here is some reclaimed wood from a CD rack, and I'm going to use that for my table saw extension. And the first thing I'm going to do is measure the width of the board that I'm going to be using. And this board is 11 3/16 wide. So I'm going to pick out some wood. Some of these have holes in them and some don't have holes in them. So I need to pick out 3 of them. And I need to measure out 11 and 3/16. Okay, so not that one. And it won't be, nope, not big enough there. So I'm going to try to get some of the solid ones. These are solid. 11 and 3/16. Not that one. Okay. And I'm going to cut these on the miter saw. And here's my other piece, and I'll cut another one just like that first one. So this is the channel where my hex bolts will slide in. They'll slide in here. And so I'm going to mark where they're going to go. So I made 3 little marks. This is the center. And this is the top and bottom of that T-bolt slot. And I will measure and then make a mark from one end to the other, and that's where I can drill my holes. And it doesn't really matter very much where I put them because they're going to slide back and forth anyway. So if I want to put one there and I want to put one here, then all I need to do is drill a 5/16 hole for this bolt. I'm going to use just one hole here, which you can't see very well, and another hole here. And there's also another hole a little bit further down. I might use one of those because it doesn't have to be incredibly strong. 2 bolts at the front and 2 bolts at the back should be plenty. And I will just align my board here to the height I need, which I'm going to make them level with this, and just mark them with a pencil. And I know where to drill my hole. So I'm going to mark it with the pencil, and I know where to drill my hole. 5/16 bolts, 1 inch long, and they just slide into this little channel here. That'll take care of one side, and then I can just tighten these, and the little channel will keep them from flipping over. So here's the other piece, and it has just 1 hole in it, and I will put that against this rail, pass the bolt through the hole in the rail, and attach it with the nut. This is a 1 inch bolt, but I'm going to have to get one just a little bit longer. A 1 1/4 will fit better. What I need to do now is measure how big the rabbets are going to be. I'm going to have to trim this board down slightly, and I'm going to have to mark this one here too. I'm going to cut off that much. This is the clean side, so this will be on the top. That can overlap 1/8 of an inch. By marking here against this edge, that'll tell me how low this needs to be. And on the underside, I just need to scribe a line where it overlaps the piece underneath. And so this is where my rabbets will be. And from these marks, I can figure out how deep the rabbets need to be. So here's my router. It's unplugged right now, and I'm using my white side brass height gauges. There's 5 pieces in here. This is the 1/4 inch one, and the 1/4 inch is the closest one to the height I need to make my rabbet. To use the gauge, I've already set this, but I'm going to check it. And if I look across the top of this piece of brass and the tip of the router bit, I can tell that it's set to a 1/4 inch. And it can be a little bit more than a 1/4 inch is okay, but not less than a 1/4 inch. And I haven't done this before, so this is actually going to be like a test cut. There's a pencil line on this side of the black line, and I'm going to cut across there and cut my rabbit. I'm pretty good. I think I'm okay on the depth. I'm just not sure exactly how far back from the edge of the blade it's going to cut. So I know this will be not back enough, and then I can make a final adjustment. It looks about right. Let me plug it in. Okay, so I'm ready to cut. I'm going to set it off the board, off the edge of the board. Turn on my router. Make another pass. And on this pass, I'll go all the way against my guide. And that looks pretty good, because I estimated that the distance from the back edge to the bit was 2 3/4 inches, and it cut right on the pencil line. So now I'll set this back another 1/8 of an inch or so, and I'll do the final cut. So I made me a little block that is 2 3/4 inches long, and that's how I used it to measure my offset. Here and here, and now I'm ready to make my final cut. That looks pretty good. It's right on my line. And I'll do the same on the other end. That fits pretty good. This is about a 1/16 of an inch below the level of the metal table, but that's okay. That's about where I want it. And I can also slot these holes in here if I want to raise it up or down, if I want some adjustment. And so I'm going to go ahead and glue that, glue those two pieces together, and then I'll make the back and the bottom. Earlier I had shaved off just the top edge because it had varnish on it, and so it exposed some wood. Okay. Put just a little bit on there, spread it around. And on this one too, I'm going to put some glue on here, on this inside edge, and also on the bottom. And I'm just going to clamp it together. Later I'll shoot some, maybe I'll put a couple of nails in it. I want to use good clamps, good clamping force, because the top is not exactly flat. Looks good. good. Maybe I can put a longer clamp across the whole thing, I'm not sure if I have one long enough. Let's see. Okay, we'll do the same on this one. We'll put glue here. And make sure to get some on this inside edge. Spread it around a little bit. Spread this one out a little bit. And here. Block I can put under there for now. Here's my clamps. Too much glue on here, so I'll wipe this off and wipe it off my bench too. Okay. Inside, spread that around, and make sure these are in there. That's good. Put a little bit more pressure on them now. That should be tight enough. Looks like they're pretty good. Okay, so we'll let that dry. This is the bottom board for my box, and I'm going to rip it to 10 1/4. It's got a bad knot hole there, so I'm going to make sure I trim that off. So this is the board I'm going to use for the back of my little box. And I've measured out 25 3/4, and I've already squared up the other end of the board. And I'm going to rip this piece to 4 inches on the table saw. So I'm just going to attach this with a drywall screw. I have a countersink with a pilot bit in it, and I'm just going to put one screw here. I'm going to go ahead and attach that one. Looks like my board's a little bit warped, so I may have to use a clamp to line it up where it really needs to go. Okay, and got a long clamp here we can use. That looks about right. And I'll attach it here. That looks good. The last piece of my box is this board here. And it does have a little bit of a crown to it. And I want that in. It does have a little bit of a crown to it. And I want that to the inside. And this too, I'm only going to attach with drywall screws, and I don't, because I may want to take this off and make this into a router table at some future date. So I'm going to drill me a little pilot hole right here, and there, it does have a countersink. That. We'll put one screw to get it started. The other side, same thing here. Make sure that goes. And two, I'll drill right about down here, about at least an inch from the end. Make sure the bottom's lined up. Okay, and we'll drill a hole here. Like that. That should be plenty good. If I need another hole, I'll make another one. Okay. And this one I want to go right about here. Across the bottom, I'll put a couple, just 2 screws here, and that should be plenty. One there. ready to go mount it. So there's my tabletop extension, and that's why I put the bottom on with screws. So if I want to build in a router table, make it into a router table, then I can just drill a hole there and mount my router from underneath, and also use it for that. So if you've enjoyed this video, click on like. If you're not a subscriber, click on subscribe. If you're not a member of YouTube, sign up for an account. It's quick and easy. You can leave comments, ask questions, and get answers. Well, take care.